Hey, hello everyone. I just want to welcome you to episode 3 of Unleashed. We've got Pup Spirit here from Dayton, Ohio, and just want to welcome you to the Pupcast.
Thank you.
So I'm so glad you were able to make it on, and I just wanted to first thing we'll just find out how long have you been a pup?
Let's see. So I actually first discovered pup play probably back in 2012, 2011 timeframe.
Oh, a while then.
Yeah, so I didn't get really involved with it until recently, but I bought my first hood, which was a very old school style many years ago, but never really got too into it other than just kind of checking it out online
Sure, sure. And it takes a little
until
bit.
last year.
So you've been into it for many years. Do you actually have a born date for Pup Spirit?
Yes, so it is November 21st of just last year, actually. That's when I officially, I guess, became a pup,
Okay, so
at least
so
involved more in the community.
all right, so you've been into it a long time, but your actual official born date was back in November of this past year.
Yep, exactly.
Well, good, good. So why did you want to? What was the appeal of becoming a pup?
You know, so back in the day, in the 2011, 2012 timeframe, I was kind of involved, I guess, or interested in the whole furry community.
Uh huh.
And that's actually kind of what led me to pup play. But just kind of looking at it and seeing what it was all about. And then also my partner, boyfriend at the time, husband now, we were basically kind of already doing it without a title.
Well, sure.
So I was like, oh, this is very similar to what we already do. Um, but I don't know. I like everything about it. It's just kind of freeing in a way.
Oh no, I agree. The same. I was a pup since September of 2021, and my husband just got into it August of last year
Hmm.
and everything. So since you've been into it for quite some time, was there anything that was difficult about, becoming a pup?
Um, I think I think the hardest thing I would say for new pups or getting into it is finding a community or somebody to learn from, because there's places online you can go to, and of course there are local pet and handler groups and that kind of thing, but
Uh-huh.
getting into it initially and trying to link up and find those places can be a bit challenging. um,
Okay.
and then also, I guess, kind of the stigma attached to it of people who don't really know about it or what it is, so you're kind of
Yeah.
limited on who you can talk to about the whole thing with.
Yeah. I totally understand that piece of it. So you mentioned community. So thinking about the pup community, what is one thing that if you could change about it, what would you change?
So I think this is kind of a tough one because I've mostly had great experiences with the community, but there are times and places and groups that can be a little less welcoming
Yeah.
and a little more leaning towards drama and toxicity.
Uh
But
huh.
I would say it's not, for me in my experience, it hasn't been super common. But I would just, if there was one thing I could change, it would just, I guess, bring it more together in that sense.
Okay. Okay. Well, so being in a kind of a pup community, is there a certain pack that you belong to up in Dayton, Ohio, or are y'all just kind of on
So
your own? Or
yeah, so I don't actually belong to a pack. My husband, basically, our dynamic is he is the owner and I'm
okay,
the pet. Um, and I guess when I interact with pups in the community, it's more of in a social kind of way
yeah,
rather than anything else. Um, but I haven't gotten to get too involved in person with any pups yet.
okay, all right. Um, you know, being a pup, I mean, it's like you said at the beginning there. It just There's something invigorating about it. It's almost an anonymous type thing that you can go out and just be yourself and no one knows. But being a pup, what makes you so passionate about being a pup and motivated to do this as playing a pup?
Mhm. For me, I think it's, like I said earlier, it's freeing, but in a way, when I wear my hood and, kind of become spirit, I feel like it helps me more um, with confidence and just being more outgoing, kind of like what I want to be without the hood, but it helps to kind of bring that out. Um, Helps me to be more social and more outgoing. That's what I really like about it.
Okay, all right. Then. So if there's someone that you know that is interested in possibly learning more about the pup community, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say, which this seems kind of ironic since earlier I said it was a little difficult as a new person.
Yeah,
Um, but try to reach out. It's a little easier these days with online. See if there are any pet and handler groups or pup specific groups around you. Um, just search online, Facebook. There's a lot of groups out there. Um, there's also Pup Space, which I don't use myself, but I know a lot of people have recommended it to try and see if there are any pups local to you or around you. Check
okay.
out your local bars, your LGBT bars, if you have any leather bars, because they tend to have events, and that would be a great way to get connected, at least get a foot in the door.
Yeah, and that's the way we found out about it. Was a local club here uh, has a pup night the last Saturday of every month.
Hmm.
So in Dayton, Ohio, do y'all have events at certain bars and stuff that you all go to, or is it just
So there are some, not so much in Dayton. There is a local leather bar called Argos. I haven't got to check it out yet. I live like 10 minutes down the road, so shame on me. Um, but they do gear nights, and there are a couple pups that hang out there. There's also a couple of clubs here in the local area that do certain nights where they'll have pup go-go dancers.
uh-huh.
But pup specific events, it seems like you kind of have to travel over to Columbus or Cleveland. But I know in Columbus they do have Lobo events. For those who aren't familiar, that's Lights Out, Barks Out, which is basically a pup and furry night in the
Uh-huh.
club. And they do, let's see, I think they do a little bit of an event gear night at, there's a gay Irish pub over in Columbus that does it as well. So there's
Oh,
a
okay.
few things going around, but I think once you get into Cleveland, which is much bigger, there's more pup events there.
Uh-huh. So one thing that I wanted to incorporate into this one because uh, it kind of started off slow with me with one interview, and that was a few weeks ago, and then now I did one yesterday. I'm doing another one today with you, and then this afternoon I've got a husband couple that are
Hmm.
coming on, and one of them happens to be in the military that's going to talk about that side of it
Oh, awesome.
and everything. But thinking about the ones that are going to come after you, if you could ask the next pup one question related to our community, what would that question be?
Hmm. I think what I would ask, and this is because after meeting pups, a lot of pups, especially online, just kind of getting to know how they play or what pup play is to them, I would ask them, what is pup play to you?
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah, because it can be so varied and different for each person and each dynamic and even each pack.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anything you wanted to know about, pups in Orlando and stuff? We got a fairly big following down here, and I'm sure it is just about everywhere in the U.S. I did notice that it's a little slower in other countries, but it's really starting to grow, I think, worldwide.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we've got a good group down here called the Hound Pound that me and my husband belong to, and thoroughly enjoy the get-togethers that we have with them. So
I love that name.
yeah, it's a great name. It's a great. I, I thought about trying to use it. We were trying to do this podcast and tie it to that group, but they weren't interested in a podcast. So, and that's fine.
Fair,
It's
yeah.
something they weren't interested in. So, I've kind of branched out and done it on my own
Hmm.
because I think it's important that we can share what we can share, especially the positive part of this.
Yes,
to as many people as we can get it to would be great.
definitely. I agree. That's why I love that you're doing this.
Well, I definitely appreciate the support from you and the two that have come before you and stuff and everything. But any last words you have to share before we end this?
I would say just as another thing for people who maybe are new to it and trying to get into it, if you don't have a local community to you, there's a pretty big community online in various places. Like the TikTok pup community it's very big.
Yeah.
You can find a lot of people on there, a lot of great information. There's some pups who do great informative videos for new people. There's lots of great Facebook groups and Telegram groups. So even if you're somewhere where you may not have a lot of local pups or somebody close to you, you can still kind of have that online community, which is pretty good.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate the time today. I'm gonna we'll get this edited, get it posted, and I'll let you know. But I'll send you all the information of where it goes and everything if you don't already have that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
So I just want to say thank you again and talk to you again hopefully soon.
Yeah, definitely.